to Reality Tea Times 2, the podcast where we discuss all the trash reality TV we love to hate. I'm Danica, and today we're going to be discussing the final 2 episodes of Selling Sunset before the tell-all / reunion, whatever. And before we hop into the episode, just another reminder, we're going to be on a recording break during December 7th to January 7th. You will have things coming at you during that time, but there won't be anything new being recorded during that time. We will go through that again during the toe episode a little more in depth. And for these are the final 2 main episodes, and then you will have the reunion, which you might get during the final week before the recording break, or you might get after. We'll figure that out. So, yeah, that's basically it for anything that I'm going to talk about in the beginning of the episode. This, as always, is a Netflix binge. We're just going to hop right into the episode. So, Season 7, Episode 10. Pick it up, pack it in. Okay, so Bree apparently stole Jason's Rolex and he had no friggin' clue. This is when you know you have too much money, because I would know that you stole my fucking Rolex. Love you, Bree. So, yeah, Chelsea's outfit. My goodness. I can't remember what she wore now, because she's amazing. I know there was one time where she was wearing like these kind of like, she kind of looked like 90s kind of style, these blue kind of baggy-ish jeans and this blue tops. I don't know if it was that one, but yep. Jason says, let's talk real estate, because when do we talk real estate? Chelsea now has officially sold the $10 million home. So I know I said last time that she sold the $10 million home. She actually didn't, like the second time. They were still drafting up the contracts and all of that, but it's now done. It's official. So Chelsea rang the bell, which is going to be for the last time in the office, this office. Then they rang it again. So, yeah. Then Bree rang the bell. So everyone's ringing the bell, even though they said, oh, this is going to be the last time, and then everyone else did. Anyway. But when Bree rang it, it was just like one dong, and that was it. Just like, I'm just keeping it simple. And then Chelsea asks if they are going to be expanding, like growing. Yes, the answer is yes. They need more agents. You see where this is going? And then Chelsea's like, well, so there's this girl, Cassandra, and Bree is like the actual fuck. But Bree is like, okay, like, I'm not even going to give this any time because I'm better than this. So, yeah. Cassandra used to actually be some sort of art dealer, whatever. So they're kind of saying like she probably has the right clientele, to make this worth everybody's while. So Bree says, I don't know if we can trust her. And, this is why she's been stalking me. She's been slipping into my DMs constantly. She thinks that she knows me. She knows all of this shit about me. And I don't fucking know her. Literally. In the words of Mariah Carey, girl, why are you so obsessed with me? Ooh, shit. That's a little odd. Because Nick Cannon was married to Mariah. And Brie fucked Nick Cannon and got pregnant. Huh. How does that work? I wonder if we get to meet Mariah Carey. Anyway, so Brie can see what Chelsea's trying to do with this. So, yeah. It's obvious. Come on. Brie's not a dumb girl. Brie's my favorite person who's ever stepped onto this show. I mean, I love Chriselle too. Um, but I don't know, as of late, although everything that Chriselle says is justified, but then at the same time, I'm like, some of the things you say isn't. So, I mean, Brie just keeps it absolutely 100, and I love her to death. Anyways, so now we're with Amanza and Mary wants to get a piercing done, which she does. Amanza does as well. Amanza doesn't do well, and that's about it. Anyway, I'm just gonna end it up with that because I know we kind of do this back and forth thing with them. They go get their piercing done. Amanza hates it, cusses them out. Mary does it like it's a fucking breeze, and that's basically it. So we're at the office and we are packing because, guys, we're going to be heading to the new office 10 feet down the road. But apparently, Mary and Amanza are supposed to be coming to help pack. I guess they didn't. But as we know, they're getting their ears pierced, so that's why they're not there. So to go back to the piercing, Mary does fill Amanza in on her conversation with Chriselle. Amanza feels no one had an excuse to not be there. I think Mary's kind of understanding. Because here's the thing, for me, if my mental health, because, you know, I feel like there's not a person who doesn't deal with some form of anxiety at this point. For me, who has dealt with it, and I keep it relatively under control for the most part as of late, I'm not going to put myself into a situation that is going to upset that. And it's not. So I 100% understand Chriselle and her reasonings for not being there. And I think Mary, with that said, also really understood why Chriselle wants to be. Chriselle, like, she has the right to not be there. And Mary's not making a big deal out of this because this dinner was not about Mary and Romaine. It just wasn't. For whatever reason, Amanza wants to make it about Mary. And it's not about Mary at all. But I feel like I hear what Amanza is saying, but I think she needs to understand that if her mental health was really going to be affected really seriously, because Chriselle has been dealing with a lot, and not just work related stuff, but personal stuff as well. If she understood, like, what I'm not saying that she does. I mean, no, there's been times probably gone through a lot of different shit. She had a health scare. Her baby father up and just vanished. You know what I mean? Like, there is a lot that she's gone through in her life, but everyone handles things very differently, and we just have to be kind. That's it. Maybe Amanza, anxiety ridden, would still handle this and still do it. But maybe Chriselle isn't that person. And I totally 100% understand that. Everyone handles this differently. I'm I'm not on anyone's side, really, but I do understand Chriselle. And I don't understand why Amanza is so butthurt that Chriselle didn't go. I don't get it. But anyway, Amanza claims that she did apologize to Chriselle, but Chriselle has not apologized to her. I don't know. Amanza says they don't understand the trickle effect that happens when one gets fired from a job and all that. And no, they don't. Okay, like not to shit on Chriselle or anything like that, but neither Chriselle or G have kids, and that hustle as a mom, as a single mom at that, is real. And what you do doesn't put food in my child's mouth. So it's just different. And I understand, but then not to mention, which I think she was more leaning towards in this conversation, is the fact that one person has to hear you got fired from a job and think, what's up with that? So it does become a thing. So I mean, I don't think it'll be a huge thing. I don't. I'm sure she's been fired from other jobs before. It happens. But I guess it's the pettiness of it. But I'm not surprised. Like from like a later conversation we'll see. I'm not sure if it's in this episode or the next one. Chriselle wasn't the one who was the deciding factor. G was. Because Chriselle told them what happened. And they decided, because of it, that they didn't want to work with her. It has nothing to do with the work. It had nothing to do with that. It's just, I'd rather not. That is their decision. That is their right. And that's it. Now, maybe it should have come from G, then Chriselle, because then it feels a little more icky. But I don't know what else to say. Anyway, Amanza says that she doesn't want to talk about it no more, so moving on. So then Chriselle says that she got a ton of drunk texts from Amanza. And we're getting a little bit of her side here. Chriselle says, funny how I didn't go because I was uncomfortable, yet she's not here to pack. She's like, you made my point. That's a good point. That's really a good point. Now, I don't know that was a coincidence because Mary wanted to go get a piercing done and Amanda went with her. But it's a good point to be made that I said I didn't want to go because I wasn't comfortable about Nicole and Skip to Malou. Yet now me and you are fighting. We're supposed to be packing, and you're not here to pack. What the fuck's up with that? She's like, point made. Like seriously, that's a good point. Mm-hmm. So now we are with Grishel and her sister. It's been a little minute since we've seen her sister. I think we saw her sister after her divorce with my dude from This Is Us. I can't remember his name. Anyway. So her sister says, after they've shopped in her closet, let's talk about G. Grishel is happy, and she makes this comment about, you're gonna need to come to Vegas with us. Which obviously we all already know that they had some sort of wedding ceremony in Vegas. We'll talk a little more about it when she brings it up, I think in the last episode. So we'll talk a little more about it at that point. But for those who don't know, they did have a ceremony in Vegas some months ago. Then it came out that they weren't legally married. So we'll talk about it. So now we are at the new office. It's still in renovation. It's not fully done yet. And they have their party coming up in a week. Lord. Brett is a little nervous about this not being done in time. That's a fair assessment. But you know what? Jason says, don't be mad. Don't be negative. Don't be negative. It'll be fine. Oh. Anyway, but Jason doesn't want issues between himself, Rochelle, and Skip Malou. And I can't remember exactly what he's talking about, like Skip Malou and all that, and his relationship with Skip Malou. And Brett actually says, I'm actually more concerned about your relationship with Rochelle. Okay, yes, I hear you, but wouldn't your girlfriend be the more important issue at hand? Personally, I better be the most important issue at hand, not your ex. Because at the end of the day, she is your ex. I don't know. Anyway. So we're with Bree and Emma, and we're at another listing, per usual. Bree's friends with this owner. Anyway, there's diamonds everywhere. And then there's more diamonds. There's diamonds on bras. There's diamonds that go on around her neck. There's diamonds everywhere. Diamonds really truly are a girl's best friend. because of this diamond bra that actually looked real sexy, but this diamond bra, Bree starts sizing her boob to see if it would fit in the diamond bra. She's like, it fit, right? It would fit. And this place has this weird ass elevator that kind of looks like a beam me up kind of situation. Emma gets into the elevator and they're like, well, what happens if I get stuck? And she's like, well, at least you can see out. Wow. So then Emma and Bree talk a little bit about Cassandra and how this is all really weird. And why is Cassandra a thing? I would love to know. I would love to know why Cassandra is trying to be a thing. Because I don't want Cassandra to be a thing. Fuck this bitch. I don't want her here. And anyway, someone says, probably Bree, it's us against them. And that's where we end episode 10. So episode 11 is going to be real interesting. Obviously, for those who actually watched the show a while ago. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. So we're going to take a little break here. And when we come back, we will hop in with the final episode. And we are back. So let's hop into episode 11, which is titled Commission Impossible. Oof. Yep, I know the reason of the title of this episode, and we're gonna get into it right now. Oh my god. Bree's here, and she's gonna talk to Jason. I think they're at they're at the new office. And she wants to talk to him about the commission split because she's like, listen, I have this house, and it just kind of dawned on me that, like, I'm making less money working here. We're going to talk about that in a hot minute. So she used to be able to get 90-10. So 90% of the commission would go to her, 10% goes back to the brokerage. So that's just what she used to get at her other brokerage. And she says it's more of the O group, and they weren't saying what that was for a little bit. But we're going to say from here, the split is 80-20. So 80% of the commission goes to the real estate agent, 20 goes back to the O group. And apparently, according to Jason, that is not a typical commission split. And he says that everyone gets the same commission split. And she says, really? Mary, Nicole, Rochelle, they all get your girlfriends, the ones you fucked? They all get the same split. I don't believe him for a minute when he says, yeah, everyone gets the same split. No. They don't get 80-20. They get 90-10. And it's in this the little people who get 80-20. 100%. Anyway, apparently this is not a typical thing of brokerage. Doing an 80-20 split. Usually it's 90-10. There they all group out. So here's my thing. Y'all have this show now. Like, I don't know how true this is, if this is actually what's happening, but you have this show. You're making money off of the show. You're on your 7th season. You're clearly making money because you're opening. You have your Cabo. There's another one that opened up apparently that we haven't seen. You're opening up different offices. You're doing fine. You have the show, you have the OC show, which is doing good too. Come on, let's be real, it's probably going to be a Cabo one eventually. You're starting, you have the money. So, sir, why are you only giving your agents an 80-20 split? That is some bullshit. And then you open up this office and tell everybody, you better work hard. You know what I mean? Fuck the new office and give these people 90-10. Like, yeah, I can understand, especially when you come from a different brokerage and you're making that 90-10 split, and you come here and you're making 80-20, you're always going to know what I was supposed to make versus what I am now making. That's a fucking, like, it's 10%, which is like, who cares? But, 10% goes a long way. So, yeah, I totally get where she's coming from. And then she brings up this whole situation with Chelsea and Cassandra. And she's like, listen, this bitch is trying to bring in Cassandra to cause more trouble for me. And, she's doing it. I know she's doing this is on purpose. This bitch is sliding into my DMs all the fucking time, claiming that she fucking knows me, knows when I got my real estate license. Like, how the fuck? She knows all of this stuff about me. It feels like very single white female situation here. And it's just like, I don't want to, why should I stay for that shit when I'm only getting 80-20 on top of it? It's just insult to injury. Why the fuck should I? And in this moment, you're like, oh, fuck, the girl has to leave. I'm really scared that she's not coming back after this. I love Bree so much. Please don't take her away from me. Please don't take her away from me. Like, no, this is ridiculous. So, the commission, like I said, it's 80-20. He claims that she has to make more money before he, gives her less of a split. But how does one do that if you don't give her the things that, you're not, listen, it's just, a lot of that nonsense of, oh, you need to have like X amount of experience and blah, blah, so we can't hire you or whatever. And it's like, okay, but then how do I get those X amount of experience if you don't give me this job to be able to acquire that X amount of experience? Like, obviously there are times where you need to have more experience, but it's just like, the fuck? Like, how do you do that? How do I make more money for you? And I feel like Brie isn't the worst. Sir, where's Davina? There's no way my girl's doing better. But it's just like, I feel like such a bitchy thing to say to her when I feel like she's working really hard on what she is doing. And she's still a mom of a little baby. She's only 9 months old. Like, for what she is doing with a 9-month-old, my girl is doing her damnedest. And that's fucking incredible. And I don't fucking like this fucking shit about, we need to make more money for we can. So then that solidified her comment earlier about, is all the other ones making the same? That goes to show no, because he says we need to make more money. So then we have Chriselle who makes money. We have Nicole who makes money. We have Mary who makes a lot of money. Even Chelsea is making a lot of money as well for herself and for the brokerage. So you're trying to tell me that they are getting probably a 90-10, but everybody else is getting an 80-20? But he says, no, 80-20 is firm. That's not changing. Like, he's like, that's not going to change at all. So we are with Amanza and Mary. The Chriselle stuff is still not over. It's still ongoing. Apparently, Chriselle went as far as to say that Amanza was being a shitty friend. Mm-hmm. Amanza says, like, yeah, I was pissed, but now I'm just more sad now than anything because she really does value this relationship, the friendship she has with Chriselle. So, anyway. So we're with Chelsea, Cassandra, and Jason at a potential listing that Cassandra has. She says, if I get this, I want to co-list with you, Jason. I see you. I see you, bitch. Okay. Then Cassandra's like, oh my god, you're a twin? Yes, you probably already know this. Or maybe just by watching this fucking show. I don't know. But anyway, she's like, oh my god, you're a twin? So am I. I'm a twin too. And they're like, oh, identical or fraternal? You're like, oh, fraternal. And she's like, well, are you guys identical? Bitch. Yeah. Oh my god. Anyway. So now she got invited to the fucking launch party. Yay. But then Jason leaves Chelsea and whatever. So basically, we're just gonna talk shit again about Brie because that's all you fucking can do. Miss really, really, truly loves company. Anyway, so apparently now Cassandra is throwing in that I know some of the people that she works with, and they say that she's really mean and she's really cold. What the fuck does that even mean? She's a no nonsense girl. Does that make her cold? Anyway, Chelsea then makes a comment of, I really don't understand why people like Brie. And she's because of all this nonsense or whatever. And I'm thinking, first of all, A, Brie's amazing. You're not. Just live with it. Number two, I'm thinking, Chelsea, the reason that you are even stinging this or inviting this nonsense that is called Cassandra into this is because you're butthurt that Brie doesn't like you. But here's the problem. Maybe Brie would have liked you if you fucking didn't come for her family. Once you come for someone's family, all bets are fucking off. And that's what you did. And listen, and we did talk about this in the last season, and I think we talked about this briefly here too. If you don't like Nick and what he stands for in his personal life, that is fine. That is perfectly okay. I get it. This man is literally out here making baby after baby after baby, so that they can be potential medical saviors for him with his lupus, which I do understand lupus is debilitating. It can be debilitating. I have family that had lupus, so I get it. I 100% understand that, but despite all of that though, despite all that, Brie and her decisions to have a child with him, you don't necessarily have to understand, because I don't understand it either. I don't understand why, not even just about Brie, I don't understand why any woman after like the fifth one or sixth one would want to have a child with this person, knowing that his time is thin. He has a million gajillion children. He barely apparently sees Mariah's kids. Like, this is your life. So it's like, like, come on. When Father's Day rolls around, there's no way he can spend Father's Day with all of his kids. So I don't understand it either. But Bree's decisions are Bree's decisions. She's not hurting anybody. And if she thinks that like this child is going to be affected, that is not your problem to deal with. I understand it, but it's not your problem to deal with. We don't know what happens in the ins and outs of Nick's life when it comes to his kids, really and truly. We don't know if, Bree's holding this down on her own, but even if she is, Bree seems to be doing really well, holding it down on her own. She seems to have no problems depending on herself first and foremost. She seems like a very independent woman. She doesn't rely on Nick for anything, and that's all that matters. Look at Bree and be like, you're fucking amazing. I may not understand what you do, but you're fucking amazing. But that's not the way Chelsea came at this. Chelsea put in her bullshit into this bullshit. And that is not how this works. And you came at Brie judging her for her decisions, judging Nick when it comes to her. Because at the end of the day, she is going to defend her child's father as long as everything is copacetic. But at the end of the day, you're basically saying my child shouldn't be here, and that's not okay. So I would also say, fuck you. You're not in my life. You're not raising my child. You're not in my relationship, whatever that relationship may be with Nick. You're not in any of those things, so butt the fuck out. But she didn't do that. And now she's realizing that maybe I should have, but Bree's not now receptive. Why should she be? Really, if you can talk about me the way you did, why would I want to be friends with you? We can be acquaintances, we can be civil, but we're not going to be friends. And for whatever reason, Chelsea wants her to be her friend. And it's like, because, and this is true and this has been said, she only wants to be friends with Brie because everyone else is friends with Brie. But no, not today, not tomorrow, not ever. You made your bed, so guess what, honey? Lie in it. We're not going to be friends. So, yeah. So because you can't be friends with her, she thinks that she's this horrible person, brings Cassandra in who also thinks she's horrible. You're all in the same boat. Cassandra's a stalker, you're butthurt, but neither of you know her. So, yeah. And we do kind of focus a little bit on Rochelle and G, and this is where she tells us that they did get married in Vegas, but it's not legal, so she's kind of, yeah. Anyway, everyone looks incredible, and Rochelle says, like, I'm not gonna tell anybody about this. She's not ready to, so anyway. So with Jason and Skip Malou, and Skip Malou is still acting like the victim that she is not. Ugh. And she said, but if you want me to talk to her, I'll talk to her. And Jason's like, no, I'm good. He's like, I would rather you just not talk to her, and let's leave it alone. But they're going to be going to Paris after. And then she asks, like, should I expect anything? Well, spoiler alert, no, because you guys aren't even going to make it. And then Jason will never get married. There was one person I think he would have married, and that would have been Grishel. You, ma'am, are not Grishel, and he's not going to marry you. He's not going to marry anyone. Don't take it personally. Anyway. So, yeah, Jason obviously says no. And then we kind of go back a little bit to Grishel and G, and Grishel refers to G as her husband. That's so cute. Anyway, the leaf blower in front of the office was about fucking the funniest thing I've ever seen. Who cares if there's like debris in front of your office? You're outside. There's always debris. So funny. Anyways. So Amanza's outfit is so unreal. She looks a little bit like a Catwoman. It's kind of cool. Tyler and Home are here. And Rose is also here. And I did notice Kayla is here as well. That's about as much as I will mention about anyone from the OC office. So everyone looks incredible. Anyway, Amanza shows Chelsea the text from Grishel, and she's like, oh shit. Grishel does come now with G, and Jason greets her and hugs her, and Malou looks like she spelled something bad when he did. So Grishel and well, he does hug both Grishel and G anyway. Bree does make it, because she did, I think I missed this part, she did say to Jason in their conversation that she wasn't sure she was going to make it to the party. But she's here. Looking incredible, as always. And, oh, the other OC group person that I missed was Sean. what the fuck is Sean doing here? Sean was barely on the show. Why is Sean here? So weird. Anyway, here comes Cassandra. And, oh God. So we'll get back to her in a minute. So Skip Malou and Rochelle do say hi to each other. And Skip Malou says, listen, I don't want to have any drama with you. Blah, blah, blah. And then she walks away. Rochelle's like, okay. Like, there should never have been drama. Anyways. Then Rochelle and Amanza talk. Rochelle does want to, oh sorry, Rochelle does not want to fight with Amanza. I don't think Amanza wants to fight either. And Rochelle says, well, you were a bit of a shitty friend. And I'm going to own up to that because you know what I've been dealing with, and yet you still put me in an uncomfortable position. That's a shitty friend. Okay, that's fair. Amanza says, everyone was upset about you not being there, but I was just the person who told you. I mean, I'm the one getting shitted on about it. But I think that even if that is the case, you're still her friend, right? But Rochelle just wanted to protect her mental health. I don't think we can fight on that. As soon as you throw in your mental health into the mix, no one can fight with you on that. Amanda tries, but anyways, she felt the whole G thing was a power move. Amanda feels that way, which I can understand how she feels that way. I don't think that's what it was, and I don't think that was Rochelle's intention, but I definitely get why Amanda feels that way. But they both apologize to each other, and now they're gonna have a drink together because Amanda stayed sober for this exact reason. So, I mean, it looked like they kind of solved the issue here a little bit, or at least put this to bed. But as far as I know, like, they are not on each other's social media, so I'm not sure what happened. I guess we'll find out, or a lot of you have already. We'll find out at the reunion. I haven't watched it yet, so. But now Chelsea says, let's go say hi to Bree, to Cassandra. Why? Let me put it here on the record that these two blubbering idiots made this the way it was. You are the one coming at her when she's sitting there in her corner with Emma, minding her own fucking business, and y'all came and confronted her. Like, yeah, you're in high school, apparently. Ugh. I hate these two people. I'm so done with Chelsea at this point. And the fuck with Cassandra. Get her out of here. So basically, Chelsea is kind of like, you have this attitude with Cassandra. What is that? Just don't be a bitch, basically. Because Bree's like, listen, how I am is how I am. I don't need to be nice to you if I don't want to be nice to you. I had to be civil or whatever. But I don't owe you shit. You know what I mean? But anyways, she's like, I'd rather just not be fake. Like, that's the, anyway. Anyway, she then asked Chelsea, why are you forcing her on me? It's a fair question. But then Chelsea talks her shit, again, about, how she thinks about, Bree not wanting to be her friend and all of this nonsense. Like, this is bullshit at this point. And how she should, I guess, be more nice, be more like Chelsea, basically. Fake, I guess. And Bree's like, why do I have to do anything? And then Cassandra says, don't be confrontational. What the fuck? Don't be confrontational, yet here you are. You were across the fucking room. You came to fucking Bree to do exactly what you just told her not to do. The fucking audacity of this bitch. Are you kidding me? So, Bree literally says, listen, I am not a friendly person. I'm fine with that. I'm good with that. She said, I never will be a friendly person. She says, when have I ever told you to not be you? But yeah, here you are telling me to not be me. Then Bree says, I'm not anyone else in this office but me. Then Bree gets up and she says, fuck this shit. Fuck this office. Fuck this show. Ooh. And she leaves. And Emma goes after her. She's like, I'm fucking done with this shit. I don't need to put up with this shit. From Chelsea, from the office, from Jason, from Brett. She's like, fuck this. And then she says, like, Cassandra is an eyelashless, split end, basic bitch. Oh my god, I love her so much. Basically, Bree says, I'm coming for everybody. Yes, ma'am, you are. And I'm here for it. I'm here for all of it. Depending on what happens with the reunion, I think this could be it for Bree. I think this could be it. I think she will literally say, I'm done. Because this is ridiculous. Chelsea is ridiculous. Cassandra is ridiculous. Like, Cassandra, what the fuck is a Cassandra? Get her out of here. Anyway, that is it for episode 11. Had a lot of fun with this season, and I'm going to have a lot of fun with the reunion. So, as mentioned again, you'll get the reunion probably most likely during the recording break. You'll get that, and probably sometime next week. And yeah, but that's basically it. This was a good season. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. I think it got a little weird with Cassandra because I'm like, why is this even happening right now? I don't like her. Get her out of here. But other than that, that is it for this episode of Selling Sunset. So if you like what you heard, please rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast. And you can rate a review on either Apple Podcasts or Spotify. And I have a new thing that I want to start trying, and that is that every 4 or 5-star review that we get, I'll read it on the podcast. So if you want to hear your review on the podcast, please rate and review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or wherever you're able to rate and review. And if you want to connect with us, you can do so by going to Reality Tea Times 2 on Facebook, Reality Tea Times 2 podcast on Instagram or Threads, Reality Tea Times 2 pod on Twitter. You can also find us on Reddit at Reality Tea Times 2 pod. And you can also email us at realityteatimes2@hotmail.com. And don't forget, you can find us on YouTube at Reality Tea Times 2. You can also subscribe, like, comment on there as well. We greatly appreciate that. And don't forget that I do have another podcast with my friend Mikkel called Next Take Podcast, where we talk about all kinds of different things. We currently have, this number can definitely change, but we currently have about 8 episodes. Roughly, we've talked about all kinds of different things. We have a lot of fun over there. So please go take a listen to us over at Next Take Podcast, which you can find us on YouTube at Next Take Podcast. You can also find us on our website, solo.to/Next Take Podcast. And don't forget, we have a website, and that is at solo.to/Reality Tea Times 2. And we also have a Discord, and I believe that's Reality Tea Times 2 as well. So you can find us there. But that's basically it. That's all the stuff, of course, everything here that I've just listed will be in our show notes, all discount codes, special links to everything that we put in our ads are also in our show notes. And yeah, that's basically it, guys. Thanks so much. Bye.